Welcome to B&B RV. Today we'll be walking you through our 2022 Thor Chateau 31E, our 32-foot Class C with bunks and one slide. First we'll start on the outside here with you, and then we'll jump onto the inside. First compartment you'll have is your generator. The control for that is on the inside, so really no need to get into that compartment. Just be aware that below is your exhaust for that, so that can get a little bit hot, and I'd probably keep those windows closed. The generator is going to be run if you're not plugged into shore power and want to use anything 110 inside the vehicle. That includes your air conditioner, microwave, TV, DVD player, and any of the 110 outlets you'll find in there. Next, you'll have a nice size storage compartment in here. Moving down the line, we have our city water connection. So this is going to be if you have the water source at your campsite. You're going to take the water hose we provide for you, just hold it up to this connection and screw it down. Turn that water on, then everything on the inside will work for you. That will bypass the internal system, so no need to have the water pump on for that. Next up, you just have an outdoor shower, a little handheld shower with a hot and cold water faucet there. Another storage compartment here. This storage compartment does have your slide controller box in there, so just be aware of that if you guys are using that. Just to be careful not to unplug anything or anything like that in that one. Next up, we have your compartment where you will empty out your black and your gray tanks. The first thing we'll want to do is jump back to the bumper here, remove this little black square. That is where your dump hose is stored. We'll remove the cap with a little twist to the left. Then we'll reach in underneath here. Connect that hose just like that cap came off. Okay. And then the first thing we'll do is pull our black lever. So we'll just grab that and pull it straight out. The black is for your toilet water. Once that's all empty, you'll close it back up and then pull the gray one second. That soapy sink and shower water is going to help rinse that hose out for you. Once you're done, you'll put everything back. Find a couple of chemical packs under the bathroom sink. You want to take those, flush those down the toilet after. That's going to help everything break down and also keep everything fresh in the restroom for you. The next compartment here is another storage compartment where you'll find your power cable for the coach. To hook that up, you're just going to open that little cap there, pull your power cable out. One end with the ring will connect to the coach right here. Just use that ring to secure that in there. The other end will plug into a 30 amp hookup, and then we also provide an adapter if you only have the 110 option. If you are hooked into the shore power, you will not need to run your generator. So everything in there, 110 will work on the shore power as well as helping charge those house batteries for you. You also have a coax cable in this compartment. So if your campsite offers cable hookup, that's going to be very similar to what you see at your house. So you just pop open the connection there and screw that in, and then adjust the source on the TV itself for cable. Scooting around to the back here, nothing fancy back here, but there is a reverse camera. So once you drop that into reverse, it'll show you what's going on back here behind the coach. The ladder is really just for maintenance for our service techs, so no real reason to jump in there on the roof. On the passenger side here, we have the largest storage compartment on the vehicle, have some camping chairs, leveling blocks, your water hose, that sort of stuff in there. The coach does have a 40-gallon freshwater tank, so if you guys don't have the connection at your campsite, you'll want to use that. As you use it, obviously, you'll need to refill it. So to refill that, you're just going to unscrew the cap, take that water hose and put it in there. Once that's full, it'll just start pouring out of that screen there. Just regular unleaded fuel there. That's one thing you'll definitely need to make sure you top off before returning the RV, depending on what package you have. Down below, we have the external propane hookup. So if you guys have a gas grill and a quick connect hose, you can actually use the propane from the RV for that. And then this side also has quite a few storage compartments. So first step is that one. And as we go down, we have a couple more. This next one here is for your propane. Propane will run your burners on the stovetop, your oven, furnace, option for hot water there, and your refrigerator. A couple of 110 plugs here, so with your generator on or shore power, you can plug a radio in there. And then these two are just going to be a couple more storage compartments for you.
So right inside the main doorway here are some of your controls. All of these that aren't labeled are just lights. So the first one is your interior lights. You have this one that's some outside lighting, and then this one is just for the step light down below here. The one that is marked step light is a light on the outside, and then here's your awning control. It's a rocker switch. So to put that awning out, you're going to hold the switch down while the awning goes out, and then to put it back in, you're going to want to hold it the other direction until it comes all the way back in. Don't want to have that awning out in inclement weather and heavy winds, anything like that. Make sure you pull the awning back in prior to driving the vehicle. This one here is your main battery switch. So that's always going to stay in the on position during the trip. Anything battery powered will work. That's how we're doing the lights in the awning right now. You want to leave that on. If you toggle that off and on, that'll turn off things like your refrigerator and other items that you don't want turned off. Down below here are the stabilizer jack buttons. They're again the rocker switches that you push up or down. So to put the stabilizers down, you're going to hold the button down until it just touches the ground. These are not leveling jacks, so it's just going to be until that plate's flat on the ground and then you can stop. It's always good to use another person as your spotter during that, and they can tell you when it's flat onto the ground. It's just meant to keep the vehicle from rocking around. It's not meant to level. Over on the side here, this is an auto gen start feature that you're not going to be using, so disregard that panel. Below there we have the solar controller. These are equipped with solar panels. Those will help keep those batteries charged up in the sun. It does also tell you the voltage on there of the batteries, so you want to make sure those batteries stay good and charged. 13s are good, 12s are good. Anything lower, you're going to start getting the lights over here, and you need to make sure to charge those batteries. If they get too low, the solar will not charge them back up. You can charge batteries by starting the generator, plugging into the shore power, or by running the engine. Inside the entry door on the side of the kitchen panel is your main controls. So up in the top corner here is the generator controls. The start stop button is for the generator. Again, you need the generator for any of the outlets or 110 power items on board if you're not plugged into shore power. So to start the generator, you just hold down that start button until the engine kicks over, and then you release it. It takes about 30 seconds to actually have power from the generator. Best way to know when your power's on is that the lights on the microwave will come on. The meter over here will tell you how much time has been used on the generator. So you get 3 free hours a night. Anything you go over that, you pay $3 an hour. To stop the generator, you just push stop and it turns it right back off. In the upper right corner, we have all of the gauge levels. So when you push the button, the lights come on. LPG is propane. So when you push that, the propane is full. The batteries read below LFGC, which is low, fair, good, and charging. It shows us right now that we're good and charging because of that generator that was just on. The freshwater tank on here looks like it's 2/3 full. The black tank is empty and the gray is empty. When you come to pick up, fresh will be full, waste tanks are empty. The slide extend retract is right here. To extend the slide, you have to have the emergency brake engaged, and then on particular ones of this model, you're going to need to have the keys in and the engine on. There are other ones where the keys have to be out. We'll give you more information about exactly which model you're in when you come to pick up. To put the slide out, you're going to hold it down in the extend position until it rolls all the way out. To bring it back in, you're going to hold it down to retract. Make sure you put that in before you take off to drive. The tank heaters are if you're in freezing temps and you want to make sure that those holding tanks don't freeze up. They do waste a lot of battery power, so we don't recommend using those unless you're plugged in. Water pump is needed if you're using the onboard water tank. So not when you're hooked up to city water at that campsite, but when you're using the onboard water, you just flip the pump on. There is a light up here that shows you the pump is on. You can usually hear it make a little bit of noise, and then you can turn the sinks and shower on like you normally would and flush the toilet. Over here you have the water heater options. There's propane and 110, which is electricity. We definitely recommend the propane option. It's more efficient, heats a little faster. So when you're ready for hot water, you're gonna switch that on. It is only a 6-gallon hot water tank, but it takes about 20-30 minutes for you to get hot water. So switch it on, wait the 20-30 minutes, and then you should have hot water. When you're done, you just switch it right back off. And then right below here, you have the thermostat. Pretty easy controls. The mode button is going to scroll you through the functions. So you have an option for fan only. If you do the fan, it's on high or low. And then you go to the air conditioner, which for the AC, you need the generator or to be plugged into power. And then the furnace runs on propane and the battery. And then you use the temperature buttons to the side to scroll up and down for the temperature. The front cab area is going to have controls that'll be similar to your vehicle. So on the left side of the driver, you have the light controls, and then there is an emergency start switch. That switch is used if by chance you happen to kill your car battery by leaving a light on, leaving the door open, anything like that. That battery is separate from the house batteries. So you can still start the engine by holding that switch down and then turning the key to start the engine. The steering wheel has controls like cruise control and similar wiper controls, lights. And then on the right side of the driver, you have an option for tow haul. You can use that when you're going up and down in the mountains. It'll help with the shifting. So that's kind of a helpful tool. You just push the button on the end of the shifter and it'll show you on the dash that that function has been turned on. When you're done using it, you just push the button again to turn it off. And then in the center, you have all of your air controls. There's a couple of charging ports in there, and then the radio. That radio does run off of the house batteries, not the car battery. So what that means for you is when you take that key out of the ignition, the radio is not going to turn itself off. So to turn it off, you need to do the power button, which is that silver knob. You just hold it down and power it down yourself so that you're not running down those house batteries. Up front in the cab area here, you have some USB charging. The good thing about those USB chargers is that they run on the battery, so you don't have to be plugged in or have that generator on to be charging with those. It's got a little basket here that can hold your phone or your device. Up top here is your privacy curtain. There is Velcro on there, and that goes on these black strips that are around the cab area and can give you that privacy to cover the windows. It does make into a bed up here. The piece up top is going to slip into the hole here, and then the ladder you can see up there. So that fits down in, and then there are rungs on the side of the ladder that the ladder can come down here. There are some little Velcro tabs on the back, so when this piece is out, you can connect the ladder to it if you want to. Makes it so it doesn't slide around while you're driving. Because the next thing we have is the TV. So you want to make sure that ladder is in a place that's not going to smash into that TV. The TV is on a swing arm, so there's knobs up top here that'll loosen it up, and then it can swing out. For the TV, we do have a DVD player. It's across the way over here, and it's hooked into that. So DVD and the remotes are right here. Over on the dinette area, you have two seat belts in the dinette. One in the forward facing, one in the rear facing. This does also make into a sleeping area. So to make it into the sleeping area, you're coming down below. You're going to release the table by moving that latch out of the way. And then this will push down if you push on the center all the way down until it's on the ledge. And then these cushions on the side can come in to make it into the bed. Up above the dinette, any of the lights that have the little push button, you're just going to push it to have them come on and off. You have other USB charging there also. On the sofa here, you have 3 seat belts that go across, and then that can also make into a sleeping area. It just lays down flat like a futon. So if you pull underneath, that'll lay down. You can tuck those seat belts down in there, but then when you go to bring it back up and need those seat belts again, you're going to have to get down in there and pull them out. To put it back up, you pull on the bottom and you can pull a little bit on the back to set it back down in place like the sofa. Over here in the kitchen area, you have your sink. Up underneath, there are some light switches. One of them is going to be to the fan that's overhead here. There is a switch on the fan also, so for it to come on, you have to have the fan underneath switch and the switch above. You want to open that up and it'll blow the air outside while you're cooking. Microwave here, just a reminder, you need to be plugged in or have the generator on to run that microwave. Down below is your stove top. You've got 3 burners. This is not a cooktop, so that needs to be up and out of the way while it's hot. To light those burners, you're going to turn it to the flame option, and then this is your spark over here. So you turn that until it's lit, and then you can adjust your heat accordingly. The far right one is for the oven. Starts the same way. Turn it to the flame and then use the spark. Sometimes that can take a couple tries, so be patient with the oven. Across the way, we have the refrigerator freezer. So you have full refrigerator freezer. You open by pushing the buttons on the sides. The controls for it are up top. We'll have that on when you get here and it'll be cold for you. This one does run specifically on battery. So what that means for you is you have to keep those batteries charged. If they get too low, that will actually shut down. So it's important that you keep an eye on your battery voltage. Back here is the bunk area where you have 2 sleeping spaces. There is a ladder for getting up into the top, and then each of them has a little curtain that you can pull across for privacy. On the wall there, you have some charging. There's a cable option and a little device holder. So some good stuff for the kids up there. And then as you step back here, when the slide is in, you can't actually get into the bedroom area, but you can get through if you go through the bathroom, so you can still get into the bed. When you come into the bathroom, there's a sliding door. So to operate that, you just release it from the latch and it comes all the way across, and then it will click back into place so it's not flying around while you're driving. Same goes for this door that can block you off from the front area. So you just push it down and latch it into place. On the side here next to the bed, you have a 110 outlet. You've got some USB charging, and there's a 12 volt. Just a reminder, the actual outlet needs generator on or to be plugged into shore power to operate that one. The other ones run off the battery power. You do have a full queen bed in here and some good storage area. This vehicle does have a full bathroom. It's got toilet, sink, and shower. On the toilet, you have a foot flush. So as you push that about halfway down with your foot, the water starts to go in, and then pushing all the way down, the valve will come out and release the waste. Over by this sink is the GFCI reset. So it's an outlet and the reset. This is on a GFCI system. So if you are having any issues with your outlets, you might have tripped something, check there and you reset it by pushing the center button just like at home. And then on the shower, the doors are latched in the center. You release the latch and they're magnet together and you just push them apart. So that wraps up our tour of the 2022 Thor Chateau 31E. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you soon.